What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Chromecast. It's like you all hold your breath as I say.
Just
always,
waiting.
I always say, you boys ready? And they go.
It's the only way.
Gotta be quiet because I'm a mouth breather.
Like a sniper. I'm like a
Not really.
sniper. I gotta.
Yeah,
You
that's
keep
right.
having it moving, man.
Yeah. My name's Joe. Joined here today by Robbie
What's up?
and Gabriel.
Hello.
I'm back. I was out last week.
That was a cleaner intro than our last week's intro. I thought we were gonna cut. I was like, we're gonna cut away from this. It's weird.
No,
just keep rolling.
Like a train wreck.
Hey, just keep it. Got off the rails in the first 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Did Joe give the normal compliment?
No, did you listen to it?
I didn't. I'm going to be perfectly honest.
There's no way.
What the heck?
It's always good.
You were on a plane.
I know.
He would have listened to it.
I watched White Lotus on the plane.
The second season. Is it good?
So good.
Oh, man.
It's in Italy too, so I'm just like,
Apple HBO.
So we've got
HBO.
HBO. I've got that. I've got Dead to Me is finally getting season 3 will be their final season. It's coming out. And it's going to be awesome to see because Christina Applegate, I don't know if you know this, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
after being a cancer survivor. Yeah.
Wow.
And so
I
it's
did
been
not know
tough.
that.
Like it's been really tough apparently. And so they pushed back the final season of it.
Yeah.
And so they figured out a way
Is
to
she
get
the
it working.
lead in that show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was like you couldn't. They're either not going to do it at all, or she figured out a way to get it done. So
There's some great content out there.
yeah, so
But
I got some
Chromecast
shows.
being one of them, I
Yeah.
unfortunately just didn't watch it. Sorry,
We got
guys.
bumped. We got bumped.
But you guys are always great.
Joe's like, if I'm not there, I ain't watching it.
Well, and it was funny. We were trying to maybe mess around with the setup right before we got going. So if you're watching the video, you'll notice that Robbie and Gabe are on one side of the desk and I'm on the other. And, it's just hard. It's hard to have a three-way conversation when you're both not looking at each other. So, I don't know. I'd almost wondered, maybe
mic.
what if I sat there
could
and
do
you sat here?
this.
Maybe we could do that.
That could be interesting, maybe. I don't know. We could play around with that. Anywho, last week was episode 200, and you said you didn't realize that.
We breezed right by it. No, I didn't realize it until I was making the post. And I was like,
Andrew said something about it, and then it
yeah.
just completely left my mind.
Oh,
that
that's funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, as part of 200, we were going to do it for episode 200, but guess what?
Well, Joe's
we'll do
been
it for
publishing like 100 interview episodes, so I got messed up.
The
numbers
hey,
are
what
all out of
episode is
whack.
for like 172? No,
Yeah.
it's 204.
Where'd all those extra episodes come from?
interviews have
baby.
been
Joe's like,
fun.
I published 9 last night.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun. We're trying to figure out maybe a little bit of a different format. Maybe doing just audio for some of them, video for some of them. Just a strictly bandwidth decision there. Just trying to.
Statistically, it seems like more people listen to those. If they're going to consume them, they listen to them.
Right. That's what the
watch
data
them.
seems like it's telling us. But if you are listening to this and you're with a company or software, whatever, and you want to get on the Chromecast, let us know. info@chromeunbox.com. Or hit us up on Twitter at chromeunbox.
If you're anywhere near the Kentucky area, just come by. We'll do it in person.
Our 6,000 goal giveaway, where we're giving away a brand new Lenovo Chromebook Duet 3, and 5 individual winners are getting a Lenovo Smart Clock Essential with Alexa built in. We are super duper close. By the time this gets published, I'm just going to go ahead and call it that we're going to have 6.
Okay.
We need like 50 more.
Joe's gonna be there making a bunch of fake Gmail
Oh,
accounts.
dude, I'm gonna go through every old HCC account that I still have.
Survey says we need 57.
57.
At
All
this
right.
moment, right now, we need 57.
So
I'll check again at the end of the show just to see
So
if we pick up some.
If for some reason by the time you listen to this and the giveaway link is still up, go get entered to win. Be your last chance.
But if at the top of our website it's a different thing.
Yeah, there's a
what we're gonna
banner up
talk
top
about
right
now.
now. If that's gone and it's been replaced with this new giveaway that we're about to talk
We
about.
don't want you to be sad that you missed the opportunity to enter.
Right. Yeah. So this one's been cool. I mean, we've gotten to 6,000 subscribers really quickly. Think back to, in comparison, right? Like think back
For a
to
fresh
how
new
long
YouTube channel.
Yeah, how long it took us to get to 10,000, 6,000 on Chrome Unbox. It's a grind, and
it was
It's like 20 years.
20
It
years.
was like longer than YouTube's been around.
It was 3-ish years.
gonna say
Because when
probably
you started, I think I was at like 4,500.
4,505, I think is what it was. Yeah.
And so,
that was
that was after me doing it for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. So that was 2016. You had started in 13. Yep. And so, it's just a grind, and we love YouTube. We believe in like YouTube long term and the monetization that they allow for creators, and so we're going to keep grinding. We want to get to 10, obviously. Maybe we'll do another giveaway when we get to 10. Like, we had originally wanted this one to be 10, but we have too much stuff to give away. We didn't want to wait. So we'll do another one at 10. I'll go ahead
we'll find something.
I'll go ahead and say it. We'll do it. Once we start getting a little closer, we'll announce that one. I'm not going to make it as long as this one. So once we get a little closer, like once we're within 1,000 or so, I'll make a new giveaway and we can find something to give away.
Yeah.
But so that one's done, or close to done.
Ish.
It should be done by the time you're listening to this. So thanks to everyone who got subscribed.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. You all are amazing.
Too.
Stay subscribed. Stick around. We're going to keep doing the weekly roundups. We have ideas of how to spice up, the video portion, and for select interviews, we're still going to keep doing some video for that.
Who knows? We might have some guests on the regular podcast.
I even did an in-person interview last week.
Yeah.
So I was in California. Yes, I was in California for the MediaTek Executive Summit, and they announced the new 500 series chips, the 520 and 528. So the newest, kind of the updated chip for what was in like the Duet.
Yeah, the original Duet.
Yeah, the 8183. It was a great trip, and I got to sit down with Victor. So I've interviewed Victor before virtually, and got to actually sit down with him and do an interview and talk about the new chips and kind of the roadmap. And so stay tuned for that. That's all coming soon. But yeah, this channel has been fun to grow, and thanks to everyone who got entered to win. We'll do another one once we get closer to 10. But the next giveaway that we're doing,
I've been excited about this one for a while. I'm like, man.
We are giving away 5 Lenovo Flex 5Is.
Yes.
Not 5, not 50.
5.0. You could 0.0. Put a decimal in there, Joe. Easy. Easy.
He is also the man that handles all of our finances.
What did I say? I don't even know what I said. I said
5.0.
5.0. No.
5i.
5i. 0.0.
Whatever. You get it.
You get it.
5 Flex 5s.
5
Flex 5s.
Great device.
5 Flex 5s.
And which model are these?
This is the 11th gen
Core i3, 11th gen.
8 128. So it's the one that is currently $299 on Amazon, which is a steal. We've got a post about it. We've got a couple posts about it. If you're
your post was out earlier this week. There's the Pentium version that went on sale today at Best Buy for $220.
Which don't be afraid of that. I mean, the Pentiums now are not what they were 5 years ago. The Pentium is a workhorse.
That 7505Y is pretty good. The only hang up with that one is it's 4 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage. So it's one of those, like, and I tried to make that clear in the article, like, I would still tell you to go get the $300 one.
Yeah, if you can scrape up the extra, was it $219?
Be another $80.
So another $80. If you can scrape it up, go that route. If you don't feel like waiting out to see if you win.
Yeah.
But $299 for that i3 one is a steal.
It is, because it took, I remember being at CES in 2020. No, that was like 2019. When the original Duet was debuted, and that device wasn't quite out yet, and folks at Lenovo were nice enough to bring it out and show it to us, and it was like, wow, okay, because it was 10th gen processors. That was the thing that year. 10th gen Core i processors. Hatch was all the devices were tracking, and this one was to me one of the interesting ones because it came out at 419, I think was MSRP on it. But it was a decent screen. It's not the best screen, but it was a decent screen. Good, Lenovo keyboard, decent trackpad, pretty good build quality. It looked nice, upward firing speakers. It had USB pen support, one of the first ones. I think the original one did, didn't it? Or no, maybe not.
No, I don't think the original one did.
No. But, like that, it just had all these features and they're good ports, and it was just an interesting Chromebook at that price.
Yeah, because it's dancing. It wasn't the Acer Spin at that time was Spin 13, Spin 713. Yeah. It wasn't that, but it was playing in that arena, like at the very low end. But it was $200 cheaper than all those other devices, the HBX 360 and all that. So it was. I remember like Jeff asked if we wanted to look at it. I'm like, yeah. So we did a video of it there and everything, and then kind of swept it aside. And then I remember Robbie one day saying, I want to write an article about this, because he was just taken aback by how just great this device was at a $400 price point. It was really cool.
Yeah, and it delivered when it showed up. And so they just kind of refined it, for this particular model. But it's the same overall experience. It's like a navy color, so you can tell the difference between the two. But I mean, I think all the same stuff's
pretty much
in place there, just a newer processor. And that 11th gen Core i3 means that it may not run Steam games great, but it will be eligible for Steam gaming. And 8 gigs and 128 gigs of storage.
We should slap it on there and see how it does.
Yeah,
just play like CSGO or something.
Yeah, I bet for your middle of the road games, it's probably fine. And so for $300, that's awesome. Or get registered in this giveaway and win one for free.
So we're just figuring it out live here. I want this one done before. I want this one done before Christmas. So
100%.
I feel like we need to run it for like 3 weeks.
Is there a target for this giveaway, or is it just a time?
Yeah, we're just gonna do a time.
Set a date and give it away. Okay, cool.
Set a date, and give it away. So maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. We'll just click the link in the description.
We'll
figure it out. Things out. I'll see, because we have to when we pick winners, we have to verify the winners and make sure that they respond and everything.
Yeah.
So that normally takes a little while. We give everyone 48 hours for that, and then getting them in the mail and shipping them, because we do have those here in the office. So we're gonna have to actually ship those. So I'll map it all out. Make sure that if you do win one and you want it to maybe be a gift, you could use it for that. So check the link in the description. You'll find all the details there.
It's going to be quick.
Yeah, this one's going to be a quick one, but it's super exciting, and you don't want to miss this one, because this is a great device, and we have 5 of them to give away, which is awesome.
Yeah, shout
out to Lenovo for hooking us up.
This like wrapped up for somebody for Christmas, you're going to be a champ.
Yeah, seriously, it's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So okay, there's that. There's some housekeeping. Let's move on to. Do we want to talk Fold now? Let's talk Framework now, and then we'll talk Fold after the break, maybe.
Yeah.
So we got in a device last week, and Robbie had to test his patience because I was in California, and all this packaging was like all these little individual boxes
all day.
It's the Framework, the Framework Laptop Chromebook Edition. We're just gonna call it the Framework. Framework Chromebook. It's a lot of syllables.
It's the Framebook.
Chrome OS Edition.
Chrome Frame.
It's the Chrome Framebook.
Chrome Frame. No,
work on that.
It's the Framer's Chromebook.
We just call it the Framework. And so, it showed up, and I at least cracked the box open and looked, and I was like, ugh. So the box for the Chromebook is kind of there, and then I don't know if this is how. Maybe if you buy it, because it had like 6 modules, right? So I don't know. Maybe that was just a reviewer's box. I'm not sure. But
I wonder how it comes. Like, because obviously you can order extra ports if you want,
right.
but if you just order just enough for what you need,
what you got,
I wonder how
that box wouldn't work. But they could put a spacer in there. Or something.
Yeah, styrofoam or something.
But because the charger was over there. So the charger's over there. But at the bottom right corner, there are 6 little boxes, little baby boxes, and they've got a little icon on each one. And it's if you know anything about the Framework Chromebook, it is modular in every way, and part of that modularity is a quick change port selection. So you have 4 ports, 4 spots for ports. You choose whichever ones you want. Yeah. So they sent us a few of the USB Type-Cs, some HDMI, some micro SD cards. This is on Do Not Disturb. Like, why is it just? Oh, it isn't disturbing me. This is. I thought it was vibrating. I thought it was vibrating on the table.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's good.
Spam likely.
Don't
want to talk
Get out of
spam
here.
likely. And so, you get to choose which one you want, and so they were all in there, and I get one out and I look, and it's like, it's like a cereal box zip tie, or like once you rip it off, you can't put it back, and so it's like, this is unique enough packaging, and I need to leave this for on camera time, so just slid it back in the box, and I at least peeked in, looked at the Chromebook and put it back in there. I was like, just gotta wait, and then we had to wait till Monday, to actually get it out and mess with it. And we got to hold our opinions a little bit. The embargo is not up for that at this point, and so we have the unboxing filmed, but we can't. We got to stay away from opinionated stuff because this podcast will be out over the weekend, and that I can't really say when the embargo lifts either.
Right,
but it will be
embargo's embargoed.
Yeah. It'll be pre the embargo. You don't have long to wait. If you're listening to this, you probably don't. It may have lifted by now. I never know when you're listening.
We can talk about the processor though, because it's the same as the one that's in the Acer.
Yeah, and we can talk about facts about it. I just can't really give a ton of opinions. We're not supposed to.
We need to do a
but
quick.
They said we could do social stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say we need to do a short.
Stuff.
Let's do a vertical video today before we leave, and we can link that as well, so folks can at least see it, see this the port snapping in and out. That's pretty cool.
So, we'll speak factually about it. It's a all aluminum chassis. It makes me think it's not shaped this way, but like the look and the feel and all of it feels very MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, like 2016 era. That feel of the metal, like it's just the vibe it gives off to me. That's neither good nor bad.
That's right. It's fact.
It's zero opinion. This is not my opinion.
Yeah, we've never denied that Apple makes really nice hardware.
They do.
Okay, so that's not a ding and it's not a praise. It's just a thing.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's a fact. The keyboard keys have a pretty decent amount of travel to them, good clickiness and stuff like that. So backlighting on the keyboard, big nice glass trackpad, 13.5. These stats probably sound familiar, but I'm pretty sure it's the 22. The 2250. What is the 2204 by 15? Dang it, I'm losing it. It's a almost quad HD, but it's a 3x2 screen. It's the one that's in 2256 by 1504. That's what it is.
I've heard you say that before.
It's what's in the HP Dragonfly. It's what's been in the Spin 713s, plural, for a little while. It's basically quad HD, but it's tall 3x2 screen, nice and bright. I think it's measured at 400 nits. It's not a touchscreen though, and so some people were a little upset about that when they found that out. Personally, I was a little put off at first when they announced that was what it was going to be. But I've just loved my time with the Acer gaming Chromebooks so much that I'm not saying that touchscreens aren't helpful. They are. I like having the ability to reach up and touch stuff on the screen, but it's not a deal breaker anymore for me with Chrome OS, especially if you have a good trackpad and the way that you can gesture and move your way around the OS. So what else? It did perform a one-finger lift. This is fact, not opinion. It did do that, so that's cool. For a device that can be taken apart so easily. And
did you talk about the bezels are modular, which is really cool?
Yeah. So the entire screen surround. I'm thinking, because I tried in the unboxing, I was like, I'm gonna pop this off here. The bottom part wouldn't come off. So my guess is you got to do
don't go dying on me now.
You got to do the modular part to get. I think the thing that pops over the keyboard probably holds the screen on, like where you can't just rip it off. So I didn't get to swap it, but it's magnetic. So except for the bottom part, I mean, I'm sure it's magnetic down there too. It's just being held over by the chassis. It just pops off, and they have replaceable ones you can drop on, and the whole thing is actually replaceable. Like all of it, every piece is.
But they have color options too, right?
Yeah. So you got I think it's a gray, black, and orange. They sent us the orange one. And they also sent us a stick of RAM, 8 gigs. So the device comes at what did we look it up? It was like $968 or something. So we thought it was $999 on their website right now. It's $960. It's not on sale. It's like
Black Friday.
So my guess, I don't know. Maybe they left it that way, and I think a RAM stick is like $30 or something. So maybe I don't know.
Is it rocking 8 out of the box?
8 256, I think.
So
256
2 slots for RAM?
Haven't opened it up yet.
It'd be kind of silly to send an 8 if it has 8.
Yeah, and my guess is it's probably got an extra slot, so we drop it up to 16 pretty quick. But yeah, the story here is, and again, it's you're saying it's the 1240p Core i5 1240p processor. It's the same thing. It's in that Acer gaming Chromebook. So huge internal specs. So it's not going to have any problem being super fast. And it's going to do all the Chromebook stuff quite nicely. And the fact that we ran into the embargo, I've not been using it because I wouldn't be able to even say these things without throwing my opinion on it if I wasn't careful. So I've just kind of laid off of it until that lifts. And so, the story with it is, and it's no different than when it was announced, is the fact that, it came with a little tool, like, a framework tool.
Which is cool.
That's ready for it, but the whole thing is, you can take it apart, and we'll obviously do some videos on that, like, because it's not like, it's possible to take it apart, and if you get the right tools, you know what you're doing, you don't screw something up, you'll break it. Like, it's built to be taken apart.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of laptops, there are serviceable laptops that have certain places that pop open so that field techs can work on them. But then there's just regular laptops. You can take any of those apart if you know what you're doing, but you have to deal with seals and then things not lining back up right, glue and stuff like that. It's not something that you just do. This is made to, it's like the old Lego phone that everybody always wanted. And you just pop it apart and put it back together, or you add a port if you're, do they have an Ethernet option?
Yeah, I think they sent it. I think they sent us. No, we didn't get it, but they do.
Yeah, so I mean that would be cool if you're using it at work regularly and you want your USB-C ports and your micro SD, but then you're traveling and you're going to be at hotels and stuff. Take that with you. Boom, you've got stable internet wherever you go. Don't have to worry about whether or not you have any Wi-Fi.
And like this sent us the micro SD, port that you can pop into it. It's like that'd be cool sometimes, but most times I don't need that, so I'll pop that out and give myself an extra C port, or give myself what was the other one they sent? HDMI, there's an A. Oh, USB A. So I did
yeah.
2 A's, or 2 C's, and A, and an HDMI, because that's like my preferred setup. But
which is awesome though, because I mean a lot of even premium devices nowadays aren't coming with that many ports. You'll get like 2 C's, an A, and a micro SD, and if that. I mean, so
it's cool. It's a cool concept, and from what we've seen, we haven't torn this thing apart. Like I said, kind of been laying off of it, but. It's 5 screws on the bottom, and then the entire keyboard deck basically lifts off, and underneath of it, everything's laid out in a way where the ribbon cables are doubled up and firm, but they have like little pull straps on them, so like when you go to take it off, you don't have to worry about the ribbon cable falling apart or whatever. And then there's QR codes on all of it that you can scan, and it'll give you a little video on how to properly remove that piece.
So dope. It's just like thoughtful.
Yeah, we're talking about the webcam, that was why it's $960 something. The Chromebook does not come with the fingerprint scanner, so on the website it says biometrics NA, which I couldn't remember from the announcement what they had said about that, but they sell the fingerprint module, so it's you replace the power module with the fingerprint, because it's in the same spot. It's the same thing. So one's just a power button, one's a power button / fingerprint, and it's about $30.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, maybe that's why they dropped it down. So if you want to order it and get that, you can replace it yourself. So I'm going to find out if we can replace that, if it will work with Chrome OS. We'll get one of those in and kind of do a quick video on.
Once again, reinforcing the fact that biometrics are not expensive.
No, you're buying a specialized one that's made to go in this laptop, not just a cheap
regular
bin
one
part from Shenzhen.
And they're not selling it at a loss at $30.
No, so they're probably marking it up at least double, and they've put customization on it to fit easily into their laptop. So you're talking $15 cost. I would bet it's $5 tops to put this in a Chromebook for most Chromebooks. So put biometrics in your Chromebooks.
Right in the power button.
Yeah. Seriously, I mean, it's just, I don't know, whatever. But you can just swap all this stuff out, and so it's going to be fun to really tinker around with this stuff. Like if you have an NVMe drive and you want to put it in there for M.2, swap them out. Like that's one of the easier things we've done on lots of Chromebooks over the years. But this one, again, it's laid out in a way that it's made accessible. You're not going to have to get different screwdrivers. That one Torx screw that you have will work for all the screws that are internal as well. So it's one screwdriver. The other side is a big flat pry tool. I'm not even sure what you would pry with it. I don't know that anything needs to be pried.
Cables,
but maybe just to help you kind of
some of the cables a lot of times will have the little hinge where they pop into place. Maybe it's to pop them loose, because that's the one thing you run into when you're messing with laptops, is that some of those ribbons are really thin, and the way you have to pop them out, you'll jab the motherboard or something if you don't know what you're doing. So having a tool to actually pop those loose.
Should you still wear the little grounding thing when you're working on this bad boy?
You should do that no matter what.
Unless they've worked something out inside that thing where it's just grounded,
do it
self-grounded.
We'll link our little toolkit.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to include that.
Not that I've ever grounded a device and fried it, ever.
Just you do as I say, not as I do.
Yes. I'm looking at the Chromebox as we speak. It's right there.
But
poor guy never turned back on after that.
Never had a chance.
After that one.
It's a good video, though.
But, so it's exciting to have it here. It's exciting to have it in hand. And I think it's an objective truth that it is a nice, firm chassis. Like there's not a lot of give in it. So that's good. I was a little concerned, to be honest. Like a device that's built to be taken apart, the stability of something that's built to be one solid thing that never gets taken apart versus something that you build with Legos.
Yeah. I would think, though, that they probably had to go above and beyond on the rigidity, though, because creating any torque on the chassis is also going to create torque on those individual pieces that go in there. So they probably had to, and they've been, it's not like this is a brand new product. They've been making Windows device for 3 years.
Been a few years now.
They've been doing it. So they didn't just regurgitate it completely, but you look at it, it's the Windows device just reimagined as a Chromebook.
Yeah. So really all they'd have to change, all they changed really in it is the main board, so the main part of the motherboard that and they didn't have to change that much either. Like it just has to have the TPM elements, that the hardware pieces that Google requires.
Is the Framework Windows device on the Flex list?
I don't know.
That would be interesting.
Be interesting to look up.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to buy the Chromebook. We want to turn the Windows device.
Send it to us.
Yeah. Yeah. How long has Framework been at this?
don't know.
Like, not just the Chromebook version.
I want to say 8th or 10th gen, so it's been 3 or 4 years.
I feel like, I want to say
they've been doing Windows versions of this device for a while. So it is great to see a Chromebook version, but you know, they've been making these for a while, and it's like they've probably thought through a lot of this, and especially if all they're changing is the motherboard.
And it's cool because it's not like this isn't like, oh, Samsung decided to get into the Chromebook, which that was exciting news too, but Samsung's been doing consumer devices stuff. This is a very niche, high-end premium product. For them to come out of nowhere and say, we're making a Chromebook, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, it's this endorsement almost of Chrome OS.
Those are cool. I like that.
As excited as I am for this device to just be around and in the market, I'm equally as excited for a company that's doing cool stuff. They got a lot of staff.
Yeah, keep scrolling.
I was trying to get to I was hoping there'd be like
Our Story. It said Our Story at the very bottom.
Oh.
Here, you talk. Let me look.
But I'm just as excited to see like the affirmation of them being like, cool, we've been all about Windows and making these high-end devices that it's a little bit of a different take on the laptop. Yeah. I guess because, to put it bluntly, there's just no reason for them to have to make a Chromebook. But it makes sense for them to make a Chromebook. A company that's saying, hey, we want you to keep this device for a long time. Replace the pieces instead of going out and trashing this and buying a new one. Well, guess what operating system does better over time? Chrome OS.
Absolutely.
So instead of getting slower over time and being like, I think I have to update the processor, like with this processor in there, I mean, the AUE is 8 years out at this point.
2030.
You know, but I think it's a 2030 AUE, June 2030, but because it's still based on the board.
2019.
2019, okay. That's I thought 3 or 4 years. But yeah, the board is going to last for 8 years. If Framework's still around and still doing their thing, and you know Chrome OS is still alive and well and thriving in 8 years from now, I can't believe that they won't produce another replaceable motherboard. Like they're not going to go and build a new internal layout for their next generation of laptops that won't be able to use these older motherboards. Like they're going to work together. So you could just go like. That's mind-blowing to me that in 7 or 8 years, like mine's almost at the end of its, auto update policy now. I'll just swap a new motherboard in here for a few $100 and off and going. Well, what about your keyboard? It's probably worn out by now. Cool, go get another one. Yeah, and swap it out.
And even if there's like huge advances in ports and stuff, those are all modular too. Thunderbolt 7 or whatever.
Because it's going to be a while before. Because I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, inside the modular thing that you put inside of that, it's a USB-C connector that's sliding in there. But right now, my guess is, the 12th gen processors do Thunderbolt 4 over USB 4, which would be my guess is what that connection bus is on there. The speed with which you can transfer over that bus right now is ridiculous. Like there's almost nothing actually using all of the speed that's in those buses. And so it's like maybe in 8 years that'll be a little slow, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch the whole thing play out. It's just going to be interesting. And I'm excited to have it here. I'm more excited for the embargo to lift so I can really start playing with it.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, it's soon. We'll just say that. It's soon. Yeah. We'll be able to talk about it soon.
Yeah.
But with no opinions. That's just what we know about.
Those are the facts.
It's a modular Chromebook.
Yeah,
and it is.
The idea of it is very interesting. And when we first, heard about it, the idea that you can just buy this one device and just keep upgrading it is pretty interesting. So, stay tuned for more on that. But for right now, we're going to take a quick break for an ad, and we'll be back in a minute. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. I can't remember if I have a Patreon spot recorded or not. So quick shout out to our Patreon. If you want ad-free access to our website or access to our private Discord server, you can check out our Patreon,
cool
patreon.com.
place.
It is the
cool
place
place.
to be.
/ Chromebook
Box. It's always something going on in there. It's a great place to just meet people, talk, get support, find some deals.
Obviously, we
have a coffee and smoke channel now. That's smoking meat, not smoking other things.
Yep.
If you all want one of those channels, you have to do it yourself. Yeah, we have a channel just for coffee and talking about grilling and stuff, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Patreon.com / Chrome.
Do we have a
Unboxed.
golf channel in there?
No.
We really need one.
That's gonna
No
have to
one
happen.
talks about golf, but
I know. Literally, I think we're the only ones who really care about golf.
I don't think Jackson plays golf.
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
I would drive down to Atlanta just
Might
to
be
play
a couple-
golf with
might be a
Jackson.
couple people playing. Who
Surely,
knows?
surely to goodness.
Surely.
there's
Maybe
someone.
not.
We'll see. But yeah, go check it out. If you want ad-free access, that's just $2. If you want access to our Discord and want to support our independent publication, go check it out.
The inner
$5 for
sanctum.
the
That's
next
what it
tier.
is. It's the inner sanctum.
Yes, of course. Okay, let's talk about what's been up there on screen, just
Yes.
lingering up there.
Just looking at me.
So shout out to Front Page Tech, John Prosser. Even gave us a little what would you call that, video plug shout out.
Yeah.
He didn't shout us out. He
No,
just showed our website.
Out?
Yep.
I don't know.
He
He's- right at the beginning of the video, he says, "Quick," or whatever he says, like real quick. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like he goes through all the stuff that he's leaked of Google stuff because he leaks Apple stuff like left and right, but the Google stuff kind of is in between some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so as he was telling all of that, here's Chrome Unboxed, and there, the videos showing them scrolling Chrome Unboxed, and so we've had some cool back and forth with him over the last couple of years, especially as he's been leaking Google stuff, and so it's. I wasn't shocked to see it, but it was cool. It was cool to see
it
that
was.
because
Yeah.
his videos, especially videos like this, it's going to get a lot of views over time.
Yeah, it's nice. It's just obviously, we love the leaks and love whenever he puts stuff out there. So
And they're thoughtful in the way they do it too. Like he talks about this in the video, but when they get a leak like this, and any leak, if they get, because this one particularly, apparently the way he was talking, it sounds like he's probably seen like marketing type materials.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
He's seen some videos, and he's been like hands-on, like looked at the thing, and so he works with this renders by Ian, and
which are just fantastic.
he knocked it out of the park this time.
Yeah,
I mean, it
this
looks like a
one, it's like they
commercial.
just keep getting better and better. Yeah.
Holy cow, it's so good.
It's so cool how he does that though. Like he does such a good job of just protecting the people who come to him, because even if he has the device in hand, he will have Ian
He won't show
do
pictures
the renders.
of it. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what he goes with. And he's so cool about letting people use that stuff too. He linked high res photos
so
of
this
his
one's the
renders.
high res.
Yeah,
So I guess we should say what it is.
Yeah, and he's asking too. Like, I mean, it's obviously a huge watermark on this image. He's asking like, don't screenshot the video, because you could and get the watermark out of there and stuff. But like, he's done all this work to do that. Like, I feel like it's just the right thing to do, to use the
100%.
Linux watermark, to be like, look, this is his leak. We're just talking about what was done and the risk that was taken. I mean, we've done some small leak stuff, and it just it's like this weird, scary place that I don't particularly care for at all.
Nope.
We were in the midst of some of that stuff, and I don't know. And I'm talking about true leaks where somebody says, hey, I have something that's not released. Would you like it? And we took it and we made some content about it. And that person probably almost lost their job over it, over a Chromebook. So you imagine
something like
So
this.
if you're
They're
listening,
hunting for
if
this
you're
person.
listening and you would like to leak something to us,
Hit up Front
you
Page Tech.
wait, hold up, no. You can find our official office address somewhere. It's on Google Maps.
Yeah.
You can find it. It's on our website, I think.
Yeah, it is. I think it has to be.
Discreet, unmarked box. Just mail it here.
Yeah, don't tell us
We
who
don't
you are.
want to know who you are.
Yeah.
Because it's
We
easier
just
to
be like,
protect you if we don't know.
somebody sent
There
us
you go.
this. We don't know who this is.
Because that's the anxious part about it to me. It's not like, oh, it's going to ruin our publication. I'm like, I would hate, because the instance that we had, I'm like, I would hate to see someone who's in a position, any type of position, have ill will because of something that they just wanted to do to help our publication.
But I get it. Apparently, he's got some people inside Google that either don't care. I don't know. I don't know. I don't fully understand how this works. 'Cause I don't know why people would risk their career For what? Like, you're not getting anything off this.
Like, it's weird enough to me. We spent
it was just the thrill of it.
We spent a couple hours walking around Google's office, and I feel like Peter took us some places that weren't like top secret, but he kind of took us around wherever. And even doing that, I'm just like, are we not supposed to talk about what we're seeing here? Is what's going on?
So we're not the leakers, but other people are.
Yep.
And so it is the official look or semi-official look at the Pixel Fold, which apparently is what it's likely going to be called after all, which I'm very happy about because, frankly, I thought Pixel Notepad was an awful name.
Agreed.
I just did not care for that.
Sounds like a PDA.
Unless it has a stylus with it.
Right.
Also call it a notepad.
Also that.
Even if it works with a stylus, and if you got to go have the...
It's not a good name.
No bueno.
Not a good name.
Passport would have been cool.
Passport,
I love that.
But then Pixel Passport sounds a little derpy.
Yeah.
Pixel Fold just works.
Pixel Folds work. It's great. It works. It just works.
Yeah.
So according to John, like that's the name they're internally. That's how they're referring to it. That's what they want to go with. But they're probably going to hold off on trademarking the name till closer because trademark stuff's open. So if they trademark it, everyone's going to see it.
Yeah, because my thing is like...
But just do it because everybody knows.
In early days, I was like, Fold, Samsung there, whatever. But it's like, that's what's expected. Lenovo has they have a Fold. Their tablet is an X1 Fold. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the only other option is like the Pixel Bendy or something, and it just doesn't...
I like half-C's. The Pixel Book. Ooh.
Oh.
Whoops. They don't do that anymore.
Huh. Pixel Pamphlet?
Gosh, what if they come out and call
It's a trifold.
You gotta wait. The tech's got to get there. They're making trifold. They fold like a Z, though. So they fold back and then over.
Like a map.
Yeah.
Google
I like
map.
that. The
Not
Pixel
maps,
brochure.
Guys. Not maps.
Map.
The Pixel brochure.
Yeah, there you go.
Pixel Pamphlet.
Pixel Pamphlet.
I like it.
It sounds great in the mic. Sorry for everyone listening.
Wow.
Hey, he's got great pop filters.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Pixel Fold. There wasn't a whole lot of detail as far as like, here's the specs and here's all the stuff. But the camera array is triple camera. He didn't say what they are, other than the internal and the external front-facing cameras are 9.5 megapixel. That's like the only stat that was given, which is whatever. Speakers. Yeah. It's kind of weird. These phones have 13 megapixels, I think, in the front facer, but you got to put 2 of them in this thing, and then 3 cameras on the back. Like, foldables just present a whole
lot of obstacles.
Yeah, like there's just so many things you got to think through and do. And he kind of remarked, you can see in the image that's up there, and obviously we're going to link this in the description.
We'll throw it on the video too right here.
Yeah, the video shows the bezels inside. There's a bit of a top bezel, and so it looks like Google, instead of trying to do like a hole punch or the hidden cutout thing or whatever on the internal display, just put a little bezel up there and put the stuff in there. Thank you, Google, for having some sense about yourself in this respect. Like, when you get a larger screen that you're going to fold in half and stick in your pocket, I'm not that concerned whether or not the bezels go edge to edge on my larger display.
Yeah.
Like, stop with the hole punch and the notches and all that junk. Put a little bezel up top. I mean, it's like it's a tiny bezel up top.
Yeah. You can see it right there at the very bottom.
They'll be able to put the light sensors. They'll be able to put the camera and stuff up there. He showed it's in the top right. But you can hide all that stuff in there where you need to be. Like, on a phone, I kind of get it. This is the only thing you're looking at, and to have the bezel on the top and the bottom is like, it's nice to get rid of it, I guess. But when you're dealing with that big of a screen, it's like a laptop screen. Like, trimming the bezels down to zero is like,
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Right.
Cares. Like,
So
it's
this
not that big of a deal.
This is the aspect ratio is more along the lines of
definitely.
the,
when you see it in the video, it's landscape. When you open it,
what is it? What was the one? Is it Xiaomi? No,
he just made a fold that looks dope.
Which one was it?
Oppo Find M.
Oppo Find. That's what it was. Yes.
They didn't call theirs fold. They call it Find because it
finds things.
Finds stuff.
It's a map. It's like a map. You're opening up a map.
You're gonna find it.
Yeah.
Geolocator.
Yeah.
So the Oppo Find has that kind of thing. So the outer display, and you can tell it from the renders here too. The outer look of the phone when it's closed looks more like a normal smartphone layout. Yeah. It's not the tall, super duper skinny weird thing. In the video, he did say it's heavy, but I think every foldable is going to be pretty heavy.
Yeah.
The new one that Michael Fisher have you watched the video on it? The one he had out at Sonoma.
That's the Xiaomi, right?
Xiaomi,
Xiaomi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't remember which company it was, but like, it's crazy
Fold
thin.
3?
Did he let you hold it?
No.
Dang.
No. I saw him running around with it the whole time, obviously.
Him holding it in that video, it looks kind of like a regular smartphone. Like it's crazy thin, which takes away from the battery life of it, obviously a little bit, and probably some of the processing power and whatever. But I don't feel like this doesn't look like it's going to be super thin. But from the usually renders make things look, I don't know, like they're not quite as like petite and tight looking as they would be in person. The fact that the renders make this look like a pretty thin phone tells me it's probably going to be pretty thin. Like I feel like it might be on par, maybe ish, with the Surface Duo, which I feel like the Surface Duo was the perfect dimensions for a folding type device. It was a little wide, but as far as the thickness of it when it's closed and then when it's open, it felt like ridiculously thin. Like,
yeah.
It looks like it might be on that par, like with the camera module sticking out as far as it is on that. I don't know. I have
Feels like it's going to be thin. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and it's going to be heavy. It's metal and glass. He said it's very polished. It's very
premium.
nice. This is premium hardware.
The price.
There was some talk that I think 9 to 5 had a somebody. This was 6 months ago probably, and maybe they've talked about this. They've had multiple code names in the background for this. He said. John even said there was a version of this that didn't even have an internal front-facing camera. He's like, they're going to go with this one that has one, but they were messing with one that didn't. So they've probably gone through a couple iterations. At one point, the rumor was like $1,300 or something, which would have been wild. But I mean, who knows? That could have been aluminum rails and a plastic back or something. If they finally decided, if we're going to do this, it's going to be niche anyway. Let's build it really nice.
Make a premium one, yeah.
I feel like that's the case. I don't foresee a situation where Google's going to go make a foldable phone and make it like a Pixel A series foldable.
Yeah.
Because it'll still be niche.
Yeah. No one's looking for budget foldable phones,
and it'll still be like $1,100-$1,200 probably because of the tech for the.
I know we don't know, but like. Surely it's going to be Tensor 2, right?
I would sure
hope
so.
Gosh, yeah, I hope so.
He's saying, he said price $1,799.
Yeah.
$1,800, which is on par with the Galaxy Z Fold. That's how much it costs when it comes out. Like that's
don't worry, you'll be able to get a T-Mobile for free.
I was going to say, will T-Mobile give me one for free if I traded in an iPhone 5?
Like they
do like $900, $1,000, $1,100 off.
Right.
For their trade-in, so it gets the device down to
what a normal phone would cost,
right?
Yes. And then you just have maybe your monthly plan, yeah.
So I mean, there will be deals to do that with carriers and stuff, but it's not going to be as cheap as these. Obviously, I mean, at that price, it's going to be 2.3 times as much as a phone. So right. I mean, I get it. Like it's not going to be for everyone.
It was very specific.
Sure, is that going to be for me?
Yeah. Oh, I want this as soon as we saw it in our Discord. Like we started posting about it. Yeah. I was traveling. Was I traveling that day, or is this? I might have been out there for the trip. And I was just maybe being like, "Give me this now. I want it. Give it to me right now."
We need to start a jar here in the office.
I mean,
we save a lot of money on coffee, so let's just think of it as our coffee fund. The fold fund.
I mean, and granted, I'm sure people listen to this, they're like, well, of course you'll say that because they're going to give you one. And we hope that they will.
I would love that. If not,
guarantee
one. Yeah.
Yep.
But this one, because it's so expensive, like a lot of stuff we get to review, it's kind of like, send it back.
But not only that, this
one is probably going to be like, you have it for a month, you send it back.
Because this probably won't be an in-person event. So even if we do get one, it will be a review unit. It won't be hey, here's a bag full of phones.
So if May, though, is the date, it's also I/O.
Could be I/O.
And there's a chance that we might get to go to I/O.
I'm going.
This time around.
We're just going to go and stand outside of the amphitheater and just hang out.
Yeah.
Wait.
Have Peter meet us out there.
I feel pretty confident we're going to be going to I/O this year.
I would love to go to I/O for our listeners in Mountain View. Yep. Put in a good word for us.
Like talking to Peter, I feel like he feels pretty confident he can get us out there.
Our rep has been excellent. We've said his name a few times. Peter, he's awesome. He's great. I
swear I will cry if he's like, guys, I'm taking a job elsewhere at Google. And here's
he moved from another spot in Google to do what he's doing now, and it's just like, man,
just trying my best to enjoy having him while we got him, because the way these things work, and
it's not honestly. I mean, between Google and the PR companies that Google use, all of our reps are all really great. It's just you can tell the ones that are like, they're spread a little thin. They're dealing with a lot of different products and a lot of different departments, and Peter has been very, very personable and just really, really awesome to work with.
It stays very focused on the niche that we're in.
And he's as excited about the Google stuff as we are, which makes it really awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, you were saying if it does get launched at I/O,
maybe we'll be there.
Maybe we'll be there, and maybe we'll be able to get it that day if it gets launched that day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So did he say launch that day, or did he say
said availability May?
Okay, availability though. So that tells me. So there, I'm hoping it's not that they're
announcing.
Yeah, they'll be like, here it is, coming next year, 2024 or something.
Yeah, historically, when they have announced them, except for the teasers, they announce it. It's up for pre-order. It's available 7 days later.
Yeah, so we might get a tease of it before then. If Google's going to do what they've been doing with all their other hardware, I would assume that somehow they'll figure out a way to get this in front of people. It'd be amazing, like if at CES they chose to at least officially say it's a thing. Like,
but
they still haven't officially said it yet.
Yeah,
but they tend to do those about 6 months before. Yeah. So this would be about the time frame, 6 to 5 months before.
Yeah,
it's about 5 months before usually. Yeah. So 5 months before would be beginning of the year. CES, they could at least say, here it's a thing.
And if it is Tensor 2, then they need to get it out by spring, because if they wait until the fall, it needs to be the new, if they're Tensor 3 or whatever they do.
Yeah, and there's rumors already of it and which Samsung Exynos that's going to be based on and stuff. I saw that the other day. I pulled it up and I was going to write it, kind of waiting for everybody else to get done writing it because it's Pixel 8. It's like... We just got this phone.
The cycle.
We're going to start talking about Pixel 8 and Tensor 3 and all that stuff soon. But to be frank, that's what I'm way more into right now. And the 7A, like the Pixel 7A rumors that are happening right now, like all of those.
That's going to be a very interesting phone.
Super duper interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a post that's basically ready to go after we get done filming this, and I'm going to publish. But the Kuba on Twitter that's been doing all the leaking of the looking in the source code and stuff. They found that the Pixel 7a is for sure going to be coming with a 90 hertz screen, and so that starts to get real interesting. So now you're adding wireless charging. They did find that it's 2 cameras. So the GN1, which is the Samsung sensor that this phone has for its main sensor, has been dropped off of the internal code, so it's back down to 2, a wide angle and then an ultra wide. So probably no telephoto going on with that, but it's upgrade apparently from the original phone. I think from the 6A, I should say. So it becomes interesting because you got wireless charging being added. Now you got 90 hertz in the screen. You've got an upgraded camera. My guess is, from a hardware standpoint, it won't be quite as good as the Pixel 7. Likely 6 gigs of RAM again versus the 8 that's in the Pixel 7, but same Tensor G2 and probably going to be 128 gigs of storage like the Pixel 7. So you're talking about a lot of similarities between these two phones.
What's the 7 retail for?
$599.
See, that's the thing.
And by that time, you don't think it's going to be on sale?
And that's the thing is, if Google's going to make the A series their... like what Samsung has with their A series, because that's their number one seller, then it needs to be $399, which is really awesome. But how do you point someone to the 7 and say, oh, buy the 7 instead for $200 more when the 7A is
pretty darn close,
almost as good?
It's going to be a little smaller probably too. Yep. So what's the 7 is a 6.3
2 or
6.2?
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe not that's much smaller. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be super interesting. That's kind of what I finished the article with. The 7A is pushing up in its quality. I'd love to think they're going to keep it at $450, but I'm like, you're adding some slightly pricier bits here, like a 90 hertz screen, wireless charging, and upgraded cameras over the 6A. That's a lot of upgrading, even if you keep the plastic chassis,
which feels not bad.
No, it's it's fine, and you're going to put a case on it.
You're going to put a case on it anyway. It is a little lighter, it doesn't have quite that nice premium feel, but.
And in the cameras, even though they're basically the older Pixel style on the 6A, are still fantastic. Mm-hmm. So, because most of it's processing power, so you upgrade the hardware there, and no one's going to really know that. I don't know what the lenses are in this thing. I couldn't tell you what IMX blah blah blah. I don't know. I don't care.
It takes good pictures.
Yeah, I pointed at stuff and it takes good photos and videos. So the same will be true of the 7A. Wireless charging. I think it's only going to be 5-watt wireless charging, but still, most people don't care about that either. Does it charge or not? My only real gripe with the 6A, honestly, to use it regularly was the refresh rate. And I feel like because it's a screen, because it ended up being found out that screen actually supports 120 hertz, I think, they're basically artificially ramping it down based on some of the internal specs or whatever, whether it's battery life or I don't know. It was manufactured at 60 hertz, and you can tell it. Like my iPad in there is a 60 hertz screen that is running at 60 hertz, and it's not as smooth as a 120 hertz screen, but it's not like, I don't know, it's not jittery and doesn't feel off-putting. It doesn't distract from the user experience. It's not as nice. Chromebooks with 60 hertz are not as nice, but when it's 60 hertz and it's built at 60 hertz and it's running 60 hertz, feels better than when it's something else and it's been ramped down to 60 hertz. Like, it feels, I don't know, extra jittery for some reason. It's like, I don't know, like the 6A, I do not like navigating that phone. So the fact they're going to fix that, you got better cameras, you got wireless charging, which feels like a premium offer. I don't know how you sell a Pixel 7 on top of that, unless I don't know. Because if the price cap's too much, then it's obviously buy the Pixel, whatever the shortcomings are, buy the Pixel 7A. If the price ends up coming, so I say it comes at $499 because of these extra additions, and the Pixel 7's on sale for $50 off or $100 off. Well, they're basically the same price.
Same price, yeah.
Well, of course, buy the Pixel 7. It's better hardware.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like they might be getting themselves in a conundrum. And I ended the article. You'll be able to see it if you read the link. Like, surely to goodness they've thought about this and they've made the right decisions on how they're going to do pricing and what they can do at scale, and they'll have this figured out. I don't understand it, but they'll probably figure something out. Surely they've thought through this. Yeah. But then it's Google, so maybe they haven't. I mean, let's be honest.
Maybe they'll put it out. The price will be too close.
Yeah, I just hope
nobody will buy it.
I hope they don't use it as an excuse to take the Pixel 8 and ramp the price up even more.
I hope not too.
That would be. I would rather see the A series scaled back just a little bit. The 6A was great. It really was.
I'm like, give me the 6A with a 90 hertz screen. You can leave all the
just leave the other stuff.
Leave the wireless charging off. You can leave the RAM low.
You don't generally buy a $400 phone and expect wireless charging and all that stuff.
Yeah, like it'd be fine. Leave the camera system the way it is. I don't care. The only thing that was off-putting about it was the screen refresh rate. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, but it probably is going to launch around the same time as this thing.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting summer of Pixel phones for sure.
Yeah, because John was saying same time as the Pixel tablet as well.
Oh yeah,
so,
the tablet will be out.
It could be
well.
a hardware heavy May if that happens.
Yeah. The other rumor around the 7A is like the ceramic coating, but they're saying that possibly could have been a confusion with Pixel tablet marketing, because the Pixel tablet does have a ceramic coating. Yeah. I'm hoping that's the case, because I'm like, it can't be a ceramic phone at a reasonable price. Ceramic's expensive to do a ceramic phone. There's only been a few of them. It's more durable than glass.
Unless because the Pixel tablet they said it's some nano ceramic
finish.
Yeah, so it's some kind of nano ceramic. It's powder coat paint is what it is.
Gives it a nice
that's what
feel.
it is.
And polycarbonate's not plastic.
Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. But that's what it is. They powder coat it. It's just that powder coat probably has ceramic in it. So I could see them doing, because which one was it? One of the 5s had that kind of
the 5A.
5A had that. It could be something in that vein, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, I agree. There's no way it's a ceramic phone.
No.
What's the tablet? What do you all think it'll cost? Have we heard any rumors?
It just depends on what it's going to be, because like the rumors remember it started, it was going to be really like 4 gigs of RAM and it's low end kind of thing, and then now it's like, oh no, it's going to have the latest tensor and plenty of RAM and storage and all that stuff. It's like I don't. It just depends.
I mean, if it's tensor 2, man, it could be like $500. Or
comes with a dope base that has great speakers.
That's
in
the
it.
other thing. Can you buy just the tablet?
That's what I was already asking.
With it?
I don't know.
I feel like with the Pogo pens, it feels like it's a bundled situation.
The people at Google are probably going, I don't know.
Yeah, sounds good. Whatever.
What do you
That's
guys
a very good question. Have you seen?
We're still trying to figure
the old
out.
interview with Elon Musk when the guy's talking to him about like the cooling systems on the rockets.
And he's like figuring it out as they're talking.
He figures it out while they're talking. Then you see the interview a few weeks later, and he's like, "Yeah, so I kind of figured that out while we were talking. You were right. We did, so we changed."
Everyday Astronaut. He's great.
That's what Google does all the time.
I think that's his channel. Everyday Astronaut.
Is that what it is?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, great YouTube channel. Well, I'll find it.
It's not often you see Elon stumped, but he was kind of stumped in there.
Yeah, but he was like, so you all are using the thing and that, right? And he's like, well, no, but
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll know more. I think a leak, if they've been leaking everything else, why not leak this at CES?
Yep.
Give us a little tease. Let us know what's coming.
Yeah, because they're saying, just saw the other day too, they're saying a new Nest Audio possibly coming.
That would be awesome.
So it has something that Apple's HomePod has, but I can't remember what it was. It's AW something. I don't know.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, CES is going to be here sooner rather than later.
I know.
We have been quite busy.
I love it though. I would love to see Google be in a place hardware wise that they are succeeding to the point that twice a year we see just product launch, and they can TikTok them however they need to. Maybe throw a Chromebook in the mix.
Yeah. Get back to Chromebooks too.
And I think it does make sense to make the Fold announcement at I/O. That way, it's not taken away from your kind of flagship announcements in the fall. And,
it's just a different device. It's not something
it's a niche item.
The majority of people who are going to go pick up a Pixel 7 Pro aren't looking for that. They don't want all of that in their pocket. They're just not interested. And so
when you're talking about the latest and greatest for Android, and you're talking about new experiences for Android to all of these developers and trying to get developers to develop for bigger screens, you say, by the way, now we have this device that that is the reference for Android folding devices.
Yes. And that's why I think I/O makes it. Oh
man, I get so excited.
And so
let's go.
It's going to be awesome. And again, like for people that are like, I don't know about a foldable. If you think about it like this, as long as it's a good foldable, like the reason I couldn't get on board with the Z Fold is the outer display just wasn't. It was weird. It was a weird layout.
You don't realize how much you use that.
Well, yeah, and you're going to use it a bunch because I don't know if that picked up me. My stomach is rumbling.
I thought it was John talking in the other room.
It's like somebody talking. It sounds like it's just like rolling. But the outer display is important on foldable phones because, generally speaking, like answering text back, doing the quick stuff that you do on a phone, you're going to use it a lot. Whether it's good or not, you're going to use it. And so the problem with the Samsung for me was that I was using that outer display a bunch, and I hated it. It's just narrow. It was so narrow that it made a lot of apps, the keyboard, a bunch of stuff just really unfun to use. And so I found myself just not wanting to mess with my phone. I was like frustrated by it, and I didn't want to have to open and close it every single time I answer a text message. So a device that, because it wasn't the heft of it or anything, that didn't bother me. I got used to it. At first I was like, oh my god, it's like I feel like I put a gold bar in my pocket. Like it's hefty. It's two phones basically. But that ended up not being an issue at all. It was literally the outer display was the biggest problem. And so I feel like the layout of this phone, of the Pixel Fold, will solve that for me. And generally speaking, my phone sits out on a desk. If I'm sitting down, it's out in my car. It's I don't sit with my phone in my pocket all day. And so even if it's a little heavy, okay, I don't care. And for certain situations too, I'll activate the LTE in my watch, and when I really need to go light on communications, leave it behind and use this. Mm-hmm. So there are options now.
I don't want to get any golf course sand in that foldable.
Oh gosh, that
that's
hurts.
Cringe.
That's what you got that one nice pocket in your bag for.
Oh yeah, that padded
goes in there.
That felt pocket.
And there
fleece
are
pocket.
cases that work for these phones too. Like I had a case on my Fold. It was a little TPU case that just clipped on both sides, and so
is that the one you couldn't get off?
No, God, that was a hard plastic.
That was
one.
It was
clear, but it it would not come off.
It's going to break the phone.
Yeah, I felt like it was going to bend it or something. But hopefully it's well made. I don't care if it's heavy. But the benefit of all this is the fact that when you do have the time, you do have the availability to open that display up, you've got a small tablet in your hands, and so that becomes useful. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's like, oh, it's a productivity machine now. It's whatever. You can put two things side by side, and you can get a little more productive that way.
It's more of a
in a pinch. But man, sitting back and watching videos on it, and playing games on it, and consuming YouTube, reading books, like the consumption angle. It was so good. I loved having it. Like I have this distinct memory of having it when I was at a volleyball tournament with my daughter, and It was thankfully it was one of the early ones when she first started, and we went and it was at an elementary school. They had one gym, and then all these teams there, and one gym, one court, and so we'd play and then have to sit for like an hour and a half, and then play and then have to sit. We were there all day long to play 3 or 4 games. And I was like, oh my God, is this what we signed up for? Is this my life now? Like on Saturdays, this is what I'm going to do? Thankfully, that's not the case. Most places you go, it's courts all over the place, and you play your games and get out. But for that day, I had the Fold with me. And so, I was playing games and watching videos and stuff. And I was like, I just remember being so like grateful to have this device in my pocket, because I didn't bring anything else with me. I didn't think I was going to be sitting in a cafeteria all day.
Yep.
And, being able to have that thing and play games on it and watch content on it was like, man, this is so awesome. Like, this is what this thing's built for. And I hated the Samsung software on it, and I hated the outside screen. This solves both of those things.
Right.
I hated the fact that the camera was okay. The Z Fold 3 camera was just okay. It was like 2 generations old, I think. Samsung camera. This solves that, because even if it's okay hardware, it doesn't matter. It's a Pixel.
Right.
It's going to take great photos and video. I'm really looking forward to it. And I know there's going to be hiccups and bugs with it. Guarantee it.
But that's like, this is going to be the fun and excitement of being a beta tester, basically. You know, and
I'm telling you, if you've never rocked a folding phone before, it's if you can get over some of the small hangups that come with it. Man, can't wait. So fun. It's so fun to have.
Can't wait. So hopefully we'll know more soon. Like I said, CES is going to be here before we know
Google.
it.
Tell us, Google.
Just tell us, please.
The
please.
cat's out of the bag. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Just contact Crosshair. Be like, can we borrow that video?
Look,
we'll just
your
use
renders
it.
look
Use
really
it for
good. Can we
marketing.
just use those?
You nailed it. That's it.
We're going to put that on a billboard. Yeah. All right. All right, folks. I think that's it for this week's episode. We appreciate you all tuning in and listening and watching. If you are watching, make sure to go on there, give us a thumbs up, click the like button. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. There's a
thumbs up.
There's a thumbs up button
bell.
down there. It's a like,
There's a bell.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell and hit subscribe. So that you just, you're just getting plugged in. You're getting plugged into the Chromecast. We're gonna be doing another giveaway when we get to 10,000. So you want to be along for the ride.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for this one. We'll catch you all next week. See ya.